Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a really good week so far. If you're an Evertonian, it's hard not to be having a good week, isn't it? Let's be honest, in terms of the football anyway and what's going on at the club. In the last video, I spoke about how we were on the verge of completing the signings of James Rodriguez, Allan from Napoli, and Doucoure from Watford. And in the last few days, all three have been officially announced and unveiled. And I think as fans, we're just kind of in dreamland at the moment, aren't we? Honestly, I don't know where to begin. I'm sorry for the delay in the videos. I wanted to post obviously straight away on all of them, but the reason I haven't is because I've had a super busy few days. I've been working with Everton Women, so I travelled down to Bristol with them for the first league game of the Barclays FAWSL season, where Everton Women won 4-0. Boss display. I'll go on to talk about that more shortly towards the end of this video. But yeah, absolutely phenomenal from the girls. 5 debutants to start. One of them who also came on off the bench to make her debut, the massive signing of Valerie Gavan, scored on her debut as well. So yeah, 4-0 win there, and I'll go on to talk about that shortly. But first, we need to talk about the signings that Everton men have made over the last few days. So yes, all three of those players that I mentioned before are now officially Everton Football Club players. James Rodriguez plays for Everton now. Just let that sink in. You know, we're talking about a Golden Boot winner of a World Cup in 2014, somebody who's won trophies everywhere they've gone pretty much, somebody who has been a real superstar, somebody who's got 46 million odd followers on Instagram. This is a name that holds huge global marketing power. And yeah, already you're seeing Everton's trending on Twitter in America. Everyone's now on Everton because of this player and how much weight his name holds around the world, especially in South America. You know, we're seeing lots of Colombians now popping up to support Everton, which is brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Think of how many South American players we have now at Everton Football Club. We've got 3 Brazilians in Alan, Richarlison and Bernard. We've got the 2 Colombians with Big Yerry Mina and now James Rodriguez as well. So we're talking about growing our audience and our fan base, hopefully, massively by bringing in players like this. And as I said, James Rodriguez, R10, well, he's not now, he's picked the number 19 for Everton, but just fantastic. Like, I can't believe it. If somebody would have said to us 12 months ago, in 12 months' time, right, so put it this way, 1 year ago, almost exactly, it might even be to the day, I was away at Villa Park where we lost 2-0 to Aston Villa. It was miserable, just miserable. It was a late night kickoff and it was just horrible. And if someone had said to me in that coach on the way home then that fast forward 12 months, it's okay, you're going to have Carlo Ancelotti as manager, he's going to bring in James Rodriguez, Allan from Napoli and Doucoure from Watford, you'd have gone, well, I don't even know what you'd have said, to be honest. You'd like to. This is the thing. As an Evertonian, we always dream and we keep that sort of hope alive. Even though we whinge and we moan, we always sort of feel disappointed and ultimately frustrated when we thought we've been on the brink of seeing change and it's not worked out. But I still always have this feeling in my heart of like, it will come good again. We're such a huge club with an amazing club with amazing fans and huge history, but it's about bringing that, making history now. For too long we've been, the fantastic sides of the 80s and the 60s and all these legends of players and managers that we've had will always be a huge part of Everton forever. But we need to start seeing success now again, and it feels like that is coming again, Even what Everton have done in the way of the announcements, I think credit to the club in how they've maximised on the James Rodriguez signing as well. We saw last night all over Liverpool, where I am based here in L4, walked around the ground and they've projected Rodriguez onto the stadium at the front, onto the 2 the big things with megaphone on. It was on the big screen outside Lime Street. He was projected all over, historical landmarks and monuments across Liverpool, across the Albert Dock, everywhere. You just couldn't escape seeing James Rodriguez in this city, and that is huge. And then this is where it gets even better, I think, for me. In Colombia, on one of the biggest buildings there, I forget the name of it, so apologies, but they projected that all lit up blue with the number 19, which is obviously his new number at Everton, going around. So that would have generated loads of interest and got loads of people looking. Like I said, Everton's been trending on Twitter worldwide. The same today in Miami in Florida. Everton have obviously got a massive billboard sort of out on the water, huge massive billboard of Rodriguez in the middle of Miami, in the middle of the ocean, that you can't help but see. And again, what that will do for marketing and bringing and growing our audience is massive. It's absolutely fantastic to see, and credit to the club, because I feel like we've been crying out for this kind of stuff to be happening for so long. Like, make sure we're making the most of these marketing opportunities and growing, because although we love the fact that we're Everton and we go the game and we're, all live near the ground, like, it's about we need to be growing, we need to be bigger, because that's what we're, a massive football club. And too long, and we get sick to death of people getting compared to all kinds of clubs and silliness like that. We're Everton Football Club, and this is what we should be doing, and it's just bloody fantastic to see that we are doing it. We've got the stadium. I've heard a few people talk about the ages of Allan and Doucoure and Rodriguez. They're all obviously sort of in their late 20s, on sort of 3-year deals, about 20 million for more or less, I think, for all of them, rising to a bit more. Some people had said, although I think they've all changed their minds now anyway, certainly Everton fans that may have said it, saying that, are they too past their best, etc. I totally disagree. Should we be bringing in younger players? I think it's great because we've kind of done both. We've secured the long-term futures of the likes of Anthony Gordon, Branthwaite, Mason Holgate, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, even Richarlison. He's still very young as well. But then we've also got players like, if we've got Bramley Dock on the horizon, which we do, I know there's this stuff with English heritage. I'm not going to go into that because it'll do me head in, but I think it'll all be fine. I think they're just being a bit difficult with a few things, but it's such an incredible thing that's going to benefit thousands of people for so many decades to come. Be a brilliant thing for the people of Liverpool, this city, Merseyside. Get it done, and it will happen. I very much do believe so. When we're moving into that ground in a few years, it's no use just having like a mediocre team. If you're moving into a groundbreaking stadium like that, we have to be in the Champions League. We have to be relevant again in terms of the Premier League and where we're finishing, and trying to challenge for things, doing well in Europe again, winning, cup competitions, FA Cup, League Cup, whatever it may be. We need silverware. Ancelotti knows that. All the players know that. And it might sound like I'm getting carried away, but this is what Everton need to be doing, and this is obviously clearly the plan. It's a project, and once, Ancelotti was the first, the stadium, Ancelotti, and now these players that are coming in, it's all starting to take shape properly, and it feels very different this time just because of the calibre of personnel that are coming into this football club is like nothing I've ever experienced in my time as a fan over the last 28 years of my life. So, yeah, just a really, really bloody exciting time. On them players as well, in a little bit more depth then, obviously Allan, the midfielder from Napoli, somebody else who's played under Carlo Ancelotti before, so you've already got that relationship between player and manager. Anybody who's going to play under Carlo Ancelotti is no doubt going to have nothing but the utmost respect for the man, but particularly, when you've got players that come in that know how he's going to want him to play, he'll know exactly what he wants from them and how he's going to fit them into the side. They'll probably run through brick walls for him. Certainly Allan, because he looks like a nutter. I keep saying that, and I absolutely love that. He's got aggression to him. He's got high energy. He will hunt every ball down. We saw images of him and Rodriguez in training with Everton at Finch Farm today, which was just lovely to see. And he just hunts everything down. He just doesn't give up, and he's aggressive. He's going to get stuck in, fling into the tackles all the time, break the opposition down, that box-to-box midfielder, like I keep saying, that we've been crying out for so long, and he's finally here. I think, in terms of all the players, Allan is arguably the most important in terms of what we needed right now on the pitch. I mean, the fact we've got all three of them is just incredible. But I think we were crying out for that aggression, that heart in the midfield, and defensive, capabilities as well, and breaking the opposition down. And that's what Allan will bring. Love him. I think he's going to be a real fan favourite. I really think he's going to be a real, you just get players that you take to, like the Tommy Gravesons, like your Duncan Fergusons, like your Timmy Cahills, those players that have just got some bite about them, and I think he's got plenty of that. So made up with the signing of Allan. Doucoure as well, again, another signing who, these are all massive signings, all of them in their own right. It's just that the Rodriguez one is obviously going to take the limelight because he's one of the most famous athletes in the world, but Doucoure, someone we've been linked with for seasons now, like literally for the last few years, and massive admirer of his. I think he's always been a real handful to play against for us whenever we've watched him in the flesh. He's a classy player, brings a bit more in terms of driving the team forward as well, and hopefully breaking down the lines and able to link play through and get some more forward passes into our front two as well, which will likely be, if we stick with the 4-4-2, Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison. So welcome to Allan and Doucoure as well. Both exquisite signings there. Exactly what we need. We've got a midfield now. Do you know what I mean? And then Rodriguez is just, I mean, I don't even know. I can't believe it still, really. Been watching all the highlights of him. This is a player, obviously, that we all know. We've all watched plenty of Rodriguez over the last, 5, 6, 7 years, however long it's been. And it's just always a joy to watch, isn't he? And like I said, clips of him in training, he's already showing just that finesse that he has, that so few players have what he has, and to see that at Everton is just fantastic. And he's like that sprinkling of real stardust in the team, if you like. And if you're a player like Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin now, you're thinking, okay, now we're in business, because the pair of them, I think, scored 13 league goals each last season. And let's be honest, they were feeding off scraps largely for most of the season. We really struggled with the midfield through injuries, through various other things, blah, de, blah, de, blah. But now you're looking at, like I said, Doucoure as well, and then James Rodriguez in there, who'll hopefully bag a load of goals himself and provide plenty of assists for our forward players as well. And I just can't believe it. You see that video of him where he's like, up the toffees, and it's just mad. It's like when you play FIFA as a kid, or play FIFA now, whatever, and you pick all the best players, you get them playing for Everton, and it's like that's actually happening now. It's just boss. It's just boss. The season obviously starts this weekend. Will we see them all start for Everton? Will we see them all make an appearance? I'm certainly hoping so. I could just talk about this forever, but I'm sure we'll have plenty more to talk about on those three new signings over the coming days. But I'm not going to bore you and be here for an hour. But yeah, just incredible news, incredible business. So excited. In other news with Everton as well, we drew Salford City at home in the second round of the Carabao Cup. I think it's the second round. And then providing we get through that one, I'll be honest with you, it's just totally gone out my head who we have. The reasons for that as well is when this was all coming through, I was on the coach on the way home from Bristol with the Everton Women team. Obviously, I've had to have COVID tests and everything like that done. But yeah, so I've been sort of out of the loop because it's been a really full on weekend, and yesterday was a really busy day for me as well. But keeping it on the positive train here, Everton Women, as I said, first league game of the season on Sunday away at Bristol, and we won 4-0. The girls were just on fire. Some of the movements, some of the passages of play, the one pass, quick tippy-tappy football we were playing was just, it was beautiful to watch, to be honest with you. And if you haven't watched the highlights, then they will be on Everton Women's Twitter, Everton Women's Instagram, evertonfc.com, on the women's or on the videos, they'll be there. So make sure you watch it. You want to see the first goal as well. The first goal was just naughty. Our captain, Lucy Graham, does a back heel over the head onto Simone McGill, who first time just like coolly strikes it past the keeper. It could be goal of the season already. Honestly, it's brilliant. And then Valerie Gavan, who I mentioned earlier, who is a massive signing for the club, one of the biggest players in women's football. She's a toughie now. She came on in the second half, made her debut, scored on her debut. Captain Lucy Graham again against a former club, 2 assists, 2 goals for the skipper, and Simone McGill as well with the first goal. Izzy Christiansen, who is one of the best players in the women's game. Obviously, she signed in January, and unfortunately we'd been missing her through injury and then lockdown. She's just next level, fantastic player, and how exciting it is to see her playing for Everton now. And the same with Hayley Razzo as well, Australian international, big player, won the NWSL. So yeah, she's just unreal. And just watch the highlights. Just watch the highlights. And if those of you who aren't following already, I do the women's match day content. So make sure you follow Everton Women on Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook, whatever it may be. And I'll be doing the live match day stuff, bringing you sort of close to the action as possible, and behind the scenes stuff and all that kind of thing. So make sure you check that out, because we're second in the league currently after 1 game. We've got a massive game. We've also got Spurs this weekend, the women, but it's at home, so I'll be there providing content for that. So yeah, hopefully it'll be a really good weekend, and we can get two victories over Spurs. That would be lovely. But yeah, make sure you're following the women's team this season, because I'm telling you, some of the football they're playing, and we mean business. Like Everton Women were always one of the top teams in this country for a long time. Obviously, it's come on leaps and bounds. It's professional now, and fully professional now. And we tailed off a little bit, but since the manager Willie Kirk's come in, and over the summer we brought in 7 new players and some big names in there as well. It's going to be a season you want to follow. So I think it could be an exciting season for Everton all round. So you want to stay tuned for that. Make sure you are following our Everton Women. I don't know if there's anything else to talk about, to be honest with you, because my little head is absolutely fried. But yeah, James Rodriguez is a toffee, as is Allan, as is Doucoure. Thank you, Everton, for making us all very happy. Will there be more signings? Do we expect that there's going to be more signings? Ideally, I think we would like to see 1 or 2 more, but listen, I can't complain with that, because it was quite exceptional to see that business done. So stay tuned, everyone. I'm going to have hopefully some more videos coming for you in the coming days. As I said, more on the new players, more on the women as we look to the upcoming game on the weekend. I've also got some interviews to post and some footage to post from the weekend on here. So stay tuned for all of that. But for now, stay safe, stay happy. Up the Colombian Toffees.